Hi, this is Jim Howks, creator of Armstrong. I'm a professional web developer. I also have a background in game programming and 3D animation. I've used a number of tools to do web development, but I began using WordPress exclusively when it became much more than a blogging platform. Armstrong came about because I've tried dozens of starter themes and been dissatisfied with them. They seem to go one of two extremes. Either they give you a blank slate and expect you to do a tremendous amount of programming to get the features you want and get up to speed, or they give you a heavy-handed front end and a bloated interface that can be awkward to work with. Armstrong attempts to meld the two thought processes of web development. It gives you a very well developed front end so that you can build a site quickly and have a highly editable end result, but it also gives you a very well structured back end so that you don't have to use redundant code and work from boilerplate stuff when you want to make changes. Changes are very fast and easy. This video is going to be sort of a tutorial overview of working with Armstrong, at least getting started, so you can see exactly what it does for you. Most of the features won't even be covered here, but a lot of the basics will be, and of course the documentation will show you everything else. So we're going to assume that you just installed Armstrong on a fresh WordPress build, and maybe you're looking at something like this, a blank page. I mean, I've got a page here with a little bit of filler content, but you're looking at a blank site and you're like, what's going on here? There's this gray bar up here, which you don't understand what that is, but it's not that big of a deal. What this actually is the header region. There's no content in it right now, but you can have a menu here and left and right, header content, other things. This is the diagram of the widget areas in Armstrong. Each of these areas corresponds to a widget region in the WordPress widgets page. These all come with Armstrong out of the box, and of course you can add others or remove these if you want to edit the code. We're going to start by adding a primary menu in this region. So we're going to go over here to the menus page. And I already have a menu I titled Main Menu. This is standard WordPress functionality. And over here on the left side, we have Armstrong's theme locations. You can add more or you can remove these. What's different here is that each of these locations is named with a shortcode. So if you copy this shortcode and paste it anywhere, the menu will show up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the main menu in primary menu and in footer menu. And I'm going to copy the shortcode for primary menu. I need to save this. Go back to the widgets. Go down to primary menu, and I can do what you'd expect. I put a text box and I could paste in the menu, and then the menu will show up there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete this menu. I want to put a visual widget in instead. This comes with Armstrong, and I'm going to click Create New Content. It's going to create a visual widget post type. I can name it anything, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to paste in the menu. And I need to add a class. It's called SF menu, which is short for Superfish menu. And that's going to tell this menu to display as a Superfish menu because you can have other menu types in Armstrong. I'm going to hit Publish. And I'll get a yellow box that tells me I need to assign this to the visual widget. So this link takes me back to the widgets page. I can go down to the primary menu where I've got my visual widget, and I see content to display no content. If I select this, I have the My Menu option that was just created. I select that, I hit Save, and now if I refresh the website, I see the menu shows up with the pages I've already added. I also see this blue edit link. This is what you get with the visual widget in Armstrong. When you click this link, it will take you directly to the visual widget, and I can do any edits in here. And of course, this visual widget can be used in pages. It doesn't have to be used as just a menu. This is just an example. And of course, any changes I made here will show up on the site. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to add a footer with some columnized content to show how columns are integrated with widgets. So we'll go back to the widget page. I'm going to start by also adding the menu to the footer. I'm going to change the ID to footer menu, and of course that corresponds to what's on the menu page, and add the appropriate class. Save it, get that out of the way, and then I'm going to add a search box and a text box to footer top. By the way, there's footer top and footer bottom. These aren't special, they're just for organization. I'm going to title the search box search, and I'm going to set here in this width box 1/4. That's for a 1/4 wide column. I'm going to hit save. Then I'm going to put a text box in, and I have some lorem ipsum code I'm going to paste in, and change the width on this to 3/4 for a 3/4 wide column, and hit save. Go back and refresh the site, and we can see that the menu has appeared and the search box appears with a 1/4 wide column, and the text box appears with a 3/4 wide column. And if I had made it a visual widget, of course, I'd have a blue edit link down here, which is really handy. Now the next thing we want to talk about is selective content by device type. Let's say I have this menu here, but I don't want this to show up on a phone. Instead, I'd rather have a select box show up on a phone. So I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to copy this menu, and then I'm going to wrap what's there around with this shortcode TAU. It's short for tablet and up. Put an ending shortcode. And then I'm going to put a second line with PH for phone, and I'm going to paste the menu that I copied and end it with phone. I'm going to change the class to select menu instead of SF menu. So what this is going to do is cause the superfish version of the menu to show on tablet and up devices, and the select menu to show on phones. I hit update. Visit the site, and we can see it's still showing the normal menu. But if I go over here to Chrome, right now in Chrome, maybe you don't know about this, but in the element inspector, you can do an override on the user agent. So I've set mine to show as iPhone iOS 5. So right now it's rendering as if I was viewing an iOS 5 device, iPhone. And you can see it's this narrow column as a result. If I refresh the page, you can see the menu here is showing as the select box. This is what we would be seeing on an iPhone right now. Now let's assume that I don't want this here. Let's say I want this in a masthead at the top, so I want even the layout to look different when it's on a phone. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the widgets area. We'll go back to the editor for the menu. We're going to cut the phone menu that I made. We're going to update this. Okay. And now we'll be back to what we started with. We'll go to the widgets page again. And at the very top, near the top anyway, masthead phone size. This is a masthead that shows up on phones. So if I put a text box in here, I can paste in my menu, and I don't need these phone shortcodes anymore because the masthead's limited automatically to phones. So I got rid of those. Now I have the menu with select menu set, and hit save. And if I refresh the page in Firefox, it's going to look the same. But if I go to Chrome and refresh the page, I will see a masthead. And there's the drop-down menu. Pretty handy. Now it doesn't cover a lot of the features. It covers some of the features of Armstrong. This didn't even get into the back end. Again, the back end has been changed so that you don't have to use redundant code with a lot of boilerplates. Everything is very fast to work with, very efficient for savvy programmers. Another thing is, again, the design here looks very plain, but this is out of the box. Of course, you can style everything with the style sheets, and the style sheets are very well organized. It's super easy to edit. You can also change the layout totally. Like right now, this header is like one big full width span. It doesn't have to stay like that. Armstrong has something called page constraints that are documented and also pretty obvious in the templates. If you took this header and you put this in a page constraint, it would make it constrained to the width of the page. And then of course you can get rid of the shadow and style it to look just like it's part of the page. So it's very powerful. There's a lot can be done. If you have any questions, just go to the support page on the website, send us your question. Support team will answer, and we really hope you enjoy using Armstrong.